So, how are we feeling after episode 8? Oh. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I thought it would be fun if I tried my hand at creating the Amazing Digital Circus Sona after watching episode 8 of the series. If you do not know what the Amazing Digital Circus is, it is a series produced by Glitch Productions and created by Gooseworks. It is about a group of people stuck in a, you guessed it, digital circus. The ringleader of the circus is an AI named Kane who creates adventures for these stuck individuals to experience and have fun? ? These individuals have very unique avatar bodies, and their names are Ragatha, Jax, Kinger, Gangle, Zubul, and the newest member, Pomni. I really won't talk about the plot as I think finding out about it is the best experience through watching it, so I highly suggest if you like any psychological media. I will go ahead and leave the link to the playlist of the whole series in my description below if you are curious about watching it or if you haven't seen it yet. Before going into the design of my Circus Sona, I do what I always do and make a Pinterest board of specific things that will inspire the character, as canon characters have a certain theme to them. The theme I mainly chose to focus on was birthdays, a lot of streamers, the usual party hat, and bows on presents. For the actual body of my Sona, I wanted it to be a plushie as I feel like a plushie really aligns with my own personality, but I specifically wanted to go with those clay face plushies that people would cut the face off of and replace it with a handmade face made out of air-dry clay, and then it is sewn on. In my Pinterest board, I had a lot of original Build-A-Bear pictures as well. Growing up, Build-A-Bear was one of my favorite places on Earth, and I had quite the collection at some point. The smell of a fresh Build-A-Bear plush is still one of my favorite smells, and the feeling of typing on the chunky keyboards when making their birth certificate, just taking them to the bath, such as blue air and brushing them, such a nostalgic feeling for me. So I really wanted to include that inside of my character. On to actually designing the character. Before even starting, I knew I wanted her to have really long arms that almost touch the ground or may even slightly drag as she walks. With her having longer arms, I gave her shorter legs to try and balance out her proportions. The face, at first, I was not quite sure of how I wanted to do it, since my first pass I thought it looked too simple and not goofy enough, as per canon TADC characters, I feel like a Sona or OC, it looking a little wacky or silly is very acceptable. One of them is literally a worm on a string minus the string. I took a minute to really look at some of the clay face plushies and saw that a lot of the facial features tend to extend from the face or come off of it a little, so I wanted to make my Sona's eyes super duper big and droopy. After figuring out the face, I pretty much had the design down, and it was time to just figure out the colors and tweaking the design a tiny bit till I was satisfied with it. The colors, I know I wanted to be mainly primary colors with some hints of pink and green, the primary colors mainly coming from the Build-A-Bear inspo, as the colors for Build-A-Bear are mainly yellow with blue and red accents. One of my color combos, which was the faceplate, was pink and the fur was green. It really screamed my usual color scheme that I tend to go for, but I didn't feel like it screamed the Amazing Digital Circus, so I decided to not go for it, even though I really wanted to. It also screamed Mr. Chimera from Spy Family, so I decided a no on that as well. Going through the color choosing phase, I tried to keep in mind the 60-30-10 rule for my colors, so I wanted yellow to be very prominent and then blue and red being the secondary and tertiary color. To add just a little bit to her design, I wanted to add patches on her with different designs. I actually had the thought of maybe after each adventure she would get a little scratch or a hole because she's clumsy. I'm a little clumsy in real life. And afterwards, Ragatha would help patch her up, so after time she will get more and more patches as her time in the circus goes on. The designs are simple, either a gingham or stripes or polka dots or hearts, to add some more splashes of color because I'm someone who likes to have a little bits and bobs of colors in my designs, so I also added some little sparkles on her face around her eyes and cheeks. With the design almost finished, it was now time to give her a name. In the first episode of the Amazing Digital Circus, Pomni's name is chosen through a random letter generator, but as I was designing my Sona, I really felt like the name Poppet really fit her really well. With her name chosen and a nice final design sketch, I felt like I was finished. However, after I finished her design, I kept looking and looking and looking, and I was not satisfied. So I decided to take it to my iPad. Most of her design stayed the same from the first pass, but there were still some minor changes that I decided to settle on. The major thing I decided to do was change what animal she is. She was originally a bear, but I felt like I was more in tune with a lamb over a bear. Also, at this point, I had watched the new season of live-action One Piece, and it had Tony Chopper, and I love Chopper a lot from the anime, and I cried so much during his lore episode, so seeing him kind of inspired me to change it to a cloven-hoofed animal as well. Besides changing what animal she is, the only other things I decided to change was, I think I semi-sketched this out when I was drawing her in my sketchbook, but I wanted to give her heart-shaped paw pads that may squeak whenever they're hit, like if she high-fives someone or claps. Another little thing I added was bells to the end of her bow. Strands? I'm not quite sure what those are called. Doing it digitally, I had the advantage of color picking, which when doing it traditionally, I only had my alcohol markers to choose from, so I played around a lot with what hue of yellow I wanted to go with. After I finished her design, I sent it to a family member who is also into the show as much as I am, and they accidentally read her name as Pepit instead of Poppet, and I liked it, so I stole it. It's mine now. As for some character personality, I would say she's very shy, and maybe a little on edge at times. When scared, she'll bleat instead of screaming. She's very soft and likes to be there for everyone, so when she first enters the circus, she fits in very well and easily becomes acquainted with everyone. I saw a lot of people doing this with their own OCs and Sonas, so let's talk about the relationships that she has with everyone, but very fast as I ran out of time for this to actually sketch out all of these scenarios like some people do, but have fun imagining them. Kane. She's very interested in Kane, and she's very sweet to him. Anytime he introduces a new adventure, I see her always clapping and is just happy to join in. Ragatha. They very much have sister energy and get along very well. When Pepit gets tears on her adventures, Ragatha is the one to help sew a new patch on, so they tend to be very close. Jax. Both Pepit and Jax feel very indifferent to each other. When Pepit entered the circus, Jax tried to play a joke, and she wasn't as easily disturbed or bothered by it, so he doesn't really bother. They get along, but don't actively seek each other out. Pomni. They're mutual friends, I would say. They get along and talk every now and then. When Pomni came into the circus, Pepit wanted to do her best to help Pomni get situated and wants to be there if she needs to talk to someone. Zubul. Pepit thinks Zubul is very cool and looks up to her as more of a big sister. Loves to spend time with her and even helps Zubul try on new parts and even tries to help her find new parts as well. Gangle. They both bond over being artists, but also being more on the shy and sheepish, yes, the pun was intended, side. She saw Gangle drawing and immediately started to ask about her art and then started to share their own art ideas together. So ever since that, they were really good friends. And Kinger. She enjoys Kinger's company even when he is not all there, bonded over seeing a moth on an adventure, and have bonded over butterflies, moths, and isopods ever since. I am not sure if I can consider this a spoiler, but just be aware this may or may not be a spoiler for those who have not seen all 8 episodes so far, but it is believed that each character avatar is based on an insecurity they have in real life. A good example I saw was that Pomni's room, which you could see in one of the merch videos, and her room really looked like a child's bedroom, and people were thinking it looks like that because Pomni does not like to be seen as a child or treated as one, as she even tells Ragatha this in episode 2. So for Pepit, I would say her insecurity could be that yes, she may look soft and cuddly, but she doesn't want people to just see that and not think that she can't stand her ground or stand up for herself. So here is the final design of my Digital Circus Sona. What do you think of her? I love her, and I think she came out perfect, and I have definitely sketched her out a little bit more after finishing her design, but sadly, every time I do sketch her out, I like the sketches a lot more than I do on her actual character sheet. I feel like this happens with everyone. Maybe I will even try and sketch out some more character interactions and post them in my YouTube community tab, or I might even try to start posting more on my Bluesky. I will also be probably adding her to my art fight account because I definitely would like to try and participate in an art fight this year. Now, I know it's been quite a while since my last video upload. I just ran into a couple of things, but if you're still here from my little, I don't want to call it a hiatus, but I guess we can consider it that. If you're still here, thank you so much for still continuing to support me, and thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, or morning, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!